Okay, last part of the video. Fats. Good fats, bad fats, all of them. I'm sure you've heard the term, and I see a lot of people, they cut fats completely out of their diet. We've been conditioned by society to be afraid of fat. But guess what? You shouldn't. There's good fats, which are good for you. Your hair, your skin, your nails, all your organs internally, and there's bad ones. Now, I don't believe in good or bad foods. Every food has its purpose, and you can turn a bad food into a good food. Remember I talked about white bread being lower on the food chain? I can turn white bread into something higher on the food chain. I'll give you guys an example. You take white bread, you add some veggies on the side, you smear some avocado on top, automatically that white bread, and you put some flax seeds on it, that white bread becomes as good as brown bread, or multigrain. And so that's what I mean. But let's get back to the fats. There are bad fats about it, and I did talk a little bit about saturated fats when I discussed protein. Saturated fats are no good for you. There's saturated and there's trans fats. Neither of them are good for you. What you're looking for is good fats. Foods that are high in good fats will actually make quite a difference to the rest of your weight loss. And if you're deprived in fat, your body may hold on to a lot of things because your stress level will be high. You may be thinking, Sushil, how does fat have to do with stress level? It does. There's a science behind it because your body's deprived of essential nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. And all that has to do with basic metabolic processes. If you're low on fats, your body increases spikes stress hormone, spikes insulin. And then what happens is instead of running on those things, it starts to run off, it starts to crave other things like carbohydrates. And so a lot of it is mental too. When you're low on fat, your body might be giving you all these cravings for sugar, etc. And so that also makes a big difference. I'll list you guys things that are great when it comes to fats: almonds, cashews, macadamias, pistachios, all the nuts. Obviously, look for unsalted, look for raw, because all that shit, excuse my language, fried in oil. You go to the beer store, beer nuts, those are no good. Come on. They sell it at the beer store for a reason. Beer nuts, get out of here. The trophy ones, you guys know, the coated ones at the ballpark, at the baseball games? No. I love baseball, but no. What else? Look for raw, unsalted. Add your own Himalayan pink salt. Add your own dry seasonings. There's lots of great seasoning companies out there. I'm very simple. I'm not a picky eater. I'll eat whatever as long as I get the body I want. But okay, so nuts are a great source. Again, a lot of oils are derived from nuts, so olive oil, but avocado oil. Don't go for things like sunflower oil, like vegetable oil. They're generally not good. When you go to places like, these fast food restaurants, they're mostly frying stuff in bad oils and sitting there all day. You may want to do yourself a favor. Cut that out. Get yourself an air fryer and start air frying cut up your own sweet potato into little strips or fries. Fry it yourself. Omit the oil. If you are going to use oil, this is what I recommend. Take 1 or 2 tablespoons of olive oil, coat your sweet potato in it, and then fry it. That's going to be amazing. It's going to go towards your good fat allowance. It's going to help the rest of your body. Instead of thinking, oh, okay, I'm getting my fats in by getting this fast food restaurant. But who's thinking that? There are people. I used to back in my day. Guys, can I tell you something? I did keto back in my day, and I'd go to McDonald's, I'd get a McDouble. Amazing, by the way. Toss out the patty, both patties, and this kid, me, 22-year-old me, would be eating a McDouble patty with cheese. 2 of them. Back in that day, you guys, you know how much McDonald's was? $1.39 for a McDouble. So you walk out of McDonald's with all you needed was a toonie, $2.50. You get 2 McDoubles, smash it home, keto, bam. But guess what? That's not good. Really bad fats. You're better off taking, again, what I said, the ground meat, getting low fat cheese, or if you want high fat cheese, and making your own version at home. Other fats, Greek yogurt is a good fat. Avocado is an excellent source. Butters, right? Almond butter, peanut butter, cashew butter. Again, those are all made with nuts. But you might be asking, Sushil, I'm allergic. I can't have nuts. I can't have all that stuff, the tree nuts and blah, blah, blah. Well, we do have things called sunflower butter. There's all sorts of butters out there. There's even chocolate butter. I don't know how they do it, but someone had this ingenious idea to make a butter, like a peanut butter, out of cocoa. And I'm like blown away. There are some brands that do it really well. Like I know Grenade has like this spread, but there's all sorts of brands. Walden Farms is a really great brand for syrups and spreads as well. Someone like me, I just eat pure Nutella. I do not give any Fs, but I don't even eat Nutella nowadays. Because if Nutella comes in my house, it's flying out of the shelves in 48 hours. That's guaranteed. So, fats should, in my opinion, they make up around 20 to 30% of my diet. They're still very important, and they're really needed for your overall health and body function. Okay, so far I've talked about calories, I've talked about protein, talked about fats, carbs, all that. I'm just gonna go a little bit off topic. Why am I not on Instagram? I still have Instagram, it's deactivated. Still friends with everyone on Instagram. I don't wanna bother with it right now. It's very draining, it's very consuming, it's very distracting. I found a lot more time and I'm able to get tasks done. I'm able to focus on the things that truly matter. Here's my take on Instagram. I have no interest in looking at anyone else's lives and seeing what my friends are up to. You might be thinking, Sushil, so insensitive. You don't care about us? Well, I do, but who should you care about most in life? Let me phrase that question to you guys. In the world of self-love and self-development, who should we care about? I'm gonna spin around and the answer is yourself. In my case, myself. So I've deactivated my Instagram so I can put all of the focus, fill up my own cup as much as possible. And I'm gonna continue to do what it takes to remove all distractions so that I could improve my career growth. And if that means not networking with friends on Instagram, then so be it. I still have YouTube. YouTube is a different project for me. It allows me to talk lengthily. Y'all already know how long this video is. Instagram doesn't allow me to do that. Instagram is very ADD consuming, meaning it wants you to put 1 minute, 30-second blurbs like blah and this and just nonsense. Who's gonna learn from that? I didn't learn from that. And TikTok's even worse. The guys on TikTok and the girls on TikTok doing all that content, I don't know how it's blowing up because, and I think Brett Contreras was talking about this, he's very knowledgeable. And a lot of the OGs will talk about this. What pops on Instagram and TikTok isn't necessarily knowledge, it's just viral. And I'm not that guy. I don't sell out. I do everything raw. I do everything from like very basic. I'm kind of like a caveman. I don't even edit my videos in that way. What you see is what you get. I'm very transparent in that way. And so I wanted to move to a platform that allowed me to work on something that I'm naturally more comfortable with. Speaking, looking on camera, and talking. Instagram does not allow me to do that. What Instagram does is it allows me to focus on my friends, and then I get wrapped up, and then I'm always thinking, what are my friends up to? But in reality, your life shouldn't be about your friends, it should be about yourself. And so, don't get offended, don't get sensitive, it is life, and I'm focusing on myself. When I reactivate it, I don't know when that's gonna be. You guys are gonna see all of my photos pop up, the old ones, all the comments that I made on your profile, All the photos I've tagged you in or you've tagged me in, it's all gonna be there. It's just deactivated. And that is to allow the focus on moi. Remember, you're the greatest project you'll ever work on. And you know, there's people in their 50s that are still working on themselves, guys like The Rock, when it comes to self-development. So I don't think self-development stops. A guy like me who gets very easily distracted and has moved on to other projects. So I started off, I was very much interested in helping people in fitness. Instagram wasn't allowing me to do that. You know, the algorithm was promoting all my shirtless photos and like my boxerless photos, and I'm like, really? This is what I have to do in order to get my message across? And I didn't want to do that. YouTube allows me to flourish and prosper at what I'm good at, using my voice, and I don't gotta take off my shirt. But at the same time, you guys are still getting fun. You're still getting all my different outfits, all my different acting roles. I've given you guys a few videos on acting so far, something I'm extremely passionate about. As I said, I do want to become an actor, but YouTube also allows me a way of giving you guys my other creative side, fitness, in a much widescreen format, no pun intended, but it just allows me more time to talk. So that's that, and yeah, you know, if you're really interested in see what I'm up to, you can check me out on YouTube. But I felt like it was just something, Instagram was just out there for people to see what others are up to, mostly their friends. But it has lost its almost like power that it had years ago. And you know, I wouldn't see some of my friends' favorite posts. I wouldn't. I would see like booty selfies and shit like that. And I'm like, great, this is all what it's about, vanity. And you know me, I got consumed by the vanity, and I'm like, this isn't good for society and it's not good for me. And I'm looking to make an impact. So don't get offended, IG friends. I'm just doing other things. Back from your scheduled intermission / commercial break, back over to fitness now. What supplements am I taking? Did I take supplements to achieve that transformation? I did. So when I started, I was actually taking OxyShred, which is a fat burner. OxyShred by EHP Labs is promoted as a thermogenic fat burner, and now I was using it as a nootropic. If you guys don't know, nootropics are happy chemicals naturally found that EHP was able to derive and put into powder format, and it was really good for focus, alertness. When it comes to the fat burning effects, probably not. I would say what made the most difference when it comes to burning the fat was calories in, calories out, the right foods, resistance training 4 or 5 times a week, doing cardio maybe 2 to 3 times a week. That's it, that's the formula. No fat burner out there is gonna get you the body you want. What a fat burner does, they're usual thermogenics. What's a thermogenic? Thermogenesis? How do you say it? I got a Hyundai Genesis. Is it the same? No. Thermogenic effects, it means to raise your body temperature, usually higher. When your body temperature is hotter, you burn more calories. Simple as that. You ever been out in the summer and, you know, a long day of walking, maybe hiking, whatever it is, and you come back home and the next day you've actually like lost 1 or 2 pounds? That's from thermogenesis, whatever the word is. Thermogenic effects. So all it is heat. I can do that by going into the sauna. You'll commonly see fighters, UFC, mixed martial art guys, or guys, you know, they wear a garbage bag over themselves and they go into the sauna or, you know, do cardio. You're losing water weight. So fat burners, do I believe in them? Not really, no. But do I believe that they do have their specific benefits? Yeah, they do. But do you need it? Absolutely not. The reason I took OxyShred is it made me damn happy. They have a good nootropic going in OxyShred, and it's a great pre-workout, especially because there's only 140 milligrams of caffeine, very low dose. I'm caffeine sensitive. I get jitters like crazy. And so it was great for me. I was on OxyShred for about 1 year of my transformation. Funny enough, a better transformation took place after I got off of OxyShred. No slight to OxyShred or EHP Labs, great company. It was one of the very first companies that I bought supplements with during COVID, and one of the only companies I kept buying supplements with because I like their Blessed Protein and I love their OxyShred formula. But do I need it anymore? No. So it was good to start. If you're someone who needs a little bit of a pre-workout and a fat burner, maybe try it out, but do you need it? No. So that's the only thing I did start on. Other than that, I just took protein powder the whole time, and these are my supplements. So let me grab them for you. We have number 1. Is this blurry or can you guys see? Multivitamin. Multivitamin. So this is a complete multivitamin. Brand doesn't matter. It's a bare minimum. You need a multivitamin. Next, omega-3 from fish. There's no way you're going to eat enough fish to get all of your omega-3s. So this is great. As you know, it's an essential fat. It's a good fat, and it's really good for brain health and bones, cartilage, everything else. Again, the fish oil is also a bare minimum. I'm giving you guys the bare minimum ones first. Vitamin D, again, bare minimum. In Canada, we get less sunlight, especially in the winter. I would probably do 5,000 IU in the winter, and I would do 3,000 IU in the summer. There goes 2,000 IU. I'm the biggest klutz. You guys, like, if you're ever my friend, you'll see just like day-to-day activities, I am like very klutzy. I'm a klutz. So vitamin D, D3, each pill is about 1,000 IU. You can get it in liquid form. I prefer solid. But yeah, 3,000 to 5,000 should suffice for most people. So those are my 3 bare minimums. These are what else I'm taking on the side. This is a gut support. It's called Symbiont G. This one's from PES Science. You can get it from any brand. I've tried Jameson, I've tried Weber Naturals, I've tried all of them. They're all equally good. So what this is, it has digestive enzymes, and it has lactase and a few other things. So if you're someone who struggles with stomach issues or gut issues, gut health is very important. If your gut is not right, the rest of your body is going to give you red flags. So I take this after every meal, but ever since I started taking it, I've been noticing such a great improvement in my gut, especially when it comes to inflammation in my gut. A lot of inflammation starts in your gut when it comes to your body, and it spreads throughout the rest of your body. So this has really been helping. Vitamin C. As you know, immunity is so important, right? Immune systems, especially in COVID, immunity is one of the most important things. I take 1 pill every day. It's 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. That's enough, I think, for me, because I eat an orange and I have other citrusy vitamin fruits. This, you don't need it. You don't need it. This is Liver Care from Himalaya. It's a very, it has all natural ingredients: chicory root, black nightshade, argina, yarrow. It actually has coffee in it, 9 milligrams, caper. This is all natural stuff. Do I need this? No. I told myself I wanted to have a little bit of a liver cleanse this year because I used to be a heavy drinker in my younger days, very heavy. I suffered with, I'm going to be honest and tell you guys, I suffered with alcoholism. Yeah, I'm fully transparent in that, and I was able to beat it, and I got through it, and I'm really proud of myself for beating it. But it ended up giving me a fatty liver, a mildly fatty liver, which is something, when I got it, I was like 27. No 27-year-old should have. And so I got that diagnosis very young. A fatty liver could lead to cirrhosis. Cirrhosis could then lead to liver cancer. Not fun, right? And so that signaled to me to do a liver cleanse once a year at least, and also take liver pills. Do you need it? No, you don't need it. Everything is all based on the individual. I've catered all of mine to my needs. Now, magnesium citrate is great. I'm someone that's very twitchy, I'm very hyperactive. Even though my mind can settle, my body's just like twitching all over the place a lot. And I found myself, it's hard to sleep sometimes or relax. Magnesium is excellent for relaxation. I use magnesium citrate. I believe there's another one, magnesium hydrochloride. I take my mag closer to sleep so it relaxes my body after the gym. And then this is what I take at night. I don't know why I'm recommending this because you guys know I don't sleep. But anyways, this is what I do to get my at least 4 to 5 hours. 5 milligrams melatonin, 5 HTP natural serotonin. Again, natural serotonin is found in the brain. It's found in the body. It's a happy chemical and it's responsible for mood effects and happiness in your body. So I take both of these at night for my so-called sleep. The other supplements that I'm taking, creatine. I take creatine hydrochloride, HCl. It is the cheapest form of creatine available. Any creatine is good, but I take around 5 grams every day. I would probably continue taking that for as long as I work out. Creatine, it flushes more water into your muscles. It helps you get stronger. I don't see any ill effects. It is a natural product found in red meat. I don't eat a lot of red meat, so it's great to take. A lot of people have a misconception that creatine bloats you. That's incorrect. That's if you're to go and do a creatine load, but the creatine load is just said by the manufacturer as a recommendation. And in most cases, a creatine load isn't needed if you already have pre-existing creatine in your system. And even if you don't, I wouldn't do it because I think that's just a consumer marketing tactic to get you to buy more or get you to have it run out sooner. So don't fall for that trick. One other product that I use is EAA, essential amino acids. You've heard of the term BCAA and EAA. So there's branch chain amino acids. There's also essential amino acids. I used to take pure BCAAs for quite a long time. And then I did a little bit more research on the byproducts of EAA and how important it is. They're actually more deficient in our systems, EEAs. BCAAs we have naturally in our body, and we can get it naturally through food, quite a lot of foods. But EEA is the most deficient when it comes to amino acids profiles in the body. Ever since you can get BCAA EEA combos, they have great ones. You can take them separately. I don't even take BCAA now. I only take EAA. That's because I've tried it, I've tested it, and it's working great without the need for BCAA. I take the EEA intra-workout. I don't really find it helps too much with the performance. It's a recovery product. So you're not gonna take a sip of it and instantly start going right away. It's not a pre-workout, it doesn't work like that. But it works to help your muscles recover after the workout when you're drinking it during the workout. Does that make sense? I know it probably doesn't. So Shil, how does drinking it in the workout help me recover the muscle after the workout? Well, it does. Believe me, backed by science. Not only that, I don't just believe anything in science. I fact check, I read multiple publications, I do my own case studies on them, and then I formulate my own thoughts. And I strongly recommend you guys to as well. You know, even as a personal trainer, I would recommend product X, Y, Z, but I would always tell my clients, try it out. What works for you may not work for the next person. So creatine and EAs and whey protein. I don't do whey right now. I do vegan protein. That's because it's better on my stomach. But there's whey protein there's nothing wrong with whey protein. It's great. Whatever works for you. So that's that. Okay, this is the final part of my video. I'm sure you guys are waiting for the whole video. This is the formula and the secrets to how I lost all that weight, how I looked damn amazing after I lost it, didn't just look skinny. I was able to retain my muscle and actually gain muscle. Resistance training, 4 to 5 times a week. That will vary based on the individual, but no matter what, no less than 3. We're not gonna make the results that we want doing it less than 3 times. Now, cardio. Do I need to do hours of cardio? No, not at all. Absolutely not. I did 1 walk every day. Sometimes I would do 2 walks. In terms of walking alone, I would get around 8 to 10,000 steps simply through walking. On top of that, I did do cardio. Why? I love cardio. Why would I love cardio? It's great for my heart. So at anyone who's dreading cardio because they don't like it, sure, that might be a reason you don't like it, but do you want to have a malfunctioning or a weak heart as you get older? Or do you not care about your heart health and lung health? Because those 2 things matter as well, and you'll be surprised to find that doing cardio and doing more activity along with your resistance training helps you build more muscle. Oh, shock. Oh, the crowd goes wild. How is that, Sushil? I don't know how. It just does. But one thing that I know for sure is when you increase your activity, you're burning more calories, right? So if you're eating the same amount of calories, let's say the number is 2,000, you're gonna eat the same way you already always have, and you don't feel like reducing the amount you wanna eat because you love eating. Okay, no problem. So we're gonna start doing more activity. We're gonna do those 1 or 2 walks a day, at least 1. We're gonna do maybe that 30 minutes for your heart health, but because it's a way of increasing activity. Do you need to do it every day? No. I started off doing cardio maybe 3 times a week, and then 4, and then eventually as I got closer and closer, when I was like between 14 and 9%, I had to bump it up to 5 times a week. Now I do it 5 times a week on a bulk. Yeah, on a bulk. I'm eating around 3,500 to 4,000 calories, cardio 5 times a week, lifting 5 times a week, core 1 time a week, 1 hit run every week. A lot of activity. But guess what? I'm gonna end up looking like an athlete if I don't already at the end of it. And so, activity is key. Oftentimes you'll see a lot of people promote doing less activity, but I don't know how that works. If you want to look like an athlete, you have to train like an athlete, you know. But a lot of people don't want to look like an athlete. So Shil, what if I just want to look like a normal person? What if I just want to be lean, take my shirt off on the beach, or be in a bikini if you're a girl, whatever it is. You want that hourglass shape, or you want the V if you're a guy, you know, the big shoulders, taper, the Adonis belt, which is the lines near your lower abs. How do we get it? Like you're asking me. It's to do abs. Like any other muscle, it's to do abs. They're not going to show unless you're low enough in body fat, so maybe around 15%. Mine started to show actually at 18% because my top 2 abs are phenomenal. It's just my lower that I've always been lacking. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to focus on my deficiencies. I'm someone that always says never let your weaknesses define you. Work on your weaknesses until they become a strength. So I worked on my lower abs. In this 2-year journey, I didn't do a single sit-up. How did I do it? I did a 1-minute plank, followed by a 1-minute bird dog, followed by a 1-minute dead bug. 3 minutes in a row, then rest for a minute, and then repeat that round a bunch more times. Plus, I did all sorts of other things. Hollow holds, bear crawl, plank to reach, renegade row, shoulder taps. Oh, the list goes on. The amount of core activities I did. Guys, let me tell you, I devoted 2 to 3 days a week just to do core. I would give up lifting just to do core. And as someone who's got 3 herniated discs, my right hip is gone, my IT band is gone, my whole body's broken. If I can do it, if I can push myself to do all that and endure that pain, I have nothing but confidence in all you guys who are hopefully healthy. I know some of you are probably injured like me, injury crew. We're a part of the Steph Curry glass crew, but it's okay. We're often injured, but we're fucking superstars when we play. It doesn't matter. If you are part of that, it's okay. But I know most of you are generally healthy, and if us injured guys and the ladies out there can do it, then I have nothing but confidence in y'all abilities to do it, right? So I want you guys to get out there and push yourself. There's gonna be a little bit of pain, but you know that movie with Mark Wahlberg and The Rock, no pain, no gain? And yeah, so If I have herniated disc and I push past the pain to do it, and I didn't have to do a single sit-up, because there's idiot pushing past the pain and there's smart pushing past the pain. I would have been an idiot with my herniated disc to go off and do a push-up or a side bend or to do a crunch. Sorry, I keep using the word push-up when I really mean sit-up and crunch. I don't know why I meant that. I did tons of push-ups. I meant sit-ups and crunches, right? So I still did core, but I did it smartly. And so I devoted time to core. I realized that it was a muscle like anything else in my body, and I worked on it. I started off with just 1 day a week, maybe 10 minutes because I hated it. I threw it in at the end of my workout, and then I went to 2 days a week, 3 days a week. There was a time in my life where I did it every single day. Or another story. Sometimes I would take 1 to 3 weeks off of weightlifting, and all I would do is core because my back was that bad and I couldn't do anything else. But guess what? Anything that you focus on, it really does grow, and it's okay to take a step back from like direct weightlifting to focus on other things, especially if it's health, to get you back in better shape, right? So I'm stronger than I ever was by optimizing core. And if you ask how I got those abs, I didn't do a single sit-up. It was all planks. It was all planks. Leg raises are great, hanging. Whether you're hanging on a pull-up bar, whether you're on the Roman chair, or whether you're on a dip bar hanging, all three of those are great leg raises. But again, if you want abs, you have to do abs like any other muscle. Your body fat has to be low enough. That only happens through weight loss. So there's no special tricks here, nothing like that. You know, I had one cheat meal every week. In fact, I had 1.5. I would have a regular cheat meal, which is like, you know, maybe a steak, a burger, pizza, and then I'd have a treat meal. What's a treat meal? I love my sugar. So like donuts, cake, brownies, whatever it is. So 1.5. And then the very next day I'd get back on it. It wasn't a cheat day by any means. And it wasn't an excuse to waste all the weekend or binge or throw away all the hard work that I did. It's just one meal in a week. Do the math. 5 meals a day, 7 days a week is what? 35, right? 1 out of 35 is so negligible. In fact, I have a budget for it. I look at it this way. 30 out of 35 is acceptable. So if 30 out of 35 meals you have every week are clean, who cares about the other 5, as long as they still follow the same amount of calories as the others and they're not obscene. So I'll give you an example. Like let's say your typical meal is chicken breast, rice, broccoli, with a side of good fats that might be maybe 500 calories. Well, you wouldn't go off and get a cheat meal. Like if you got a cheat meal that's maybe usually 1,000 calories minimum, you would count that as 2 meals. Do you see how that works in the budget? Because one cheat meal of 1,000 calories is equal to 2 of your CBR chicken breast rice meals. Right, math? 5,000? That's how it works. If you don't want to do the math, just have just one cheat meal. You don't need it. Ultimately, we try to give ourselves an excuse, a reward, right? Because we all want rewards. We all want either something external, or we want something internal. Extrinsic versus intrinsic. But the reward should be health. The reward should be you feeling great on the inside and looking great on the outside. It shouldn't be burgers and fries. Great, if you like that, go ahead and eat it. And I fucking love them. A few more things to go. Did I track my calories? Yes and no. When I began, I did track my calories. It was my first time getting back into shape a few years. Like when I started that, I hadn't tracked for a long time, and I said to myself, okay, I need to know how much I'm putting in my body, because think about this. You're driving a car. Usually you know where you're going. Let's say you go to work every day, and at the beginning of the week, you're used to filling up a full tank, and that gives you Monday to Friday at work, and it gives you Saturday to the grocery store, and maybe Sunday to a friend's house, you know, your girlfriend's house or whatever it is, or to your buddy's house, whatever. And that's how much you know your gas gets you. But think about your body like that. Think about calories. If you don't know how much you're putting in, how do you know how long, like if you're losing, gaining, how do you know what's going on? So think about tracking as your roadmap, right? How are you going to go on a road trip if you've never been somewhere and you don't know the route? You don't have a GPS. Your body doesn't have a nav system where you're going to punch in. But guess what? And today, MyFitnessPal will do that for you. It's so easy. It even has this barcode function. I'm not sponsored by anyone I'm talking about on this channel, by the way. These are just the things I use. It has this barcode function. You can go up to a prepackaged good and scan it. Automatically pulls it up. You can even look up like homemade food. Like I would look up all these complex Indian foods. To my brown people out there and like people who like ethnic foods, you know that, you know, Asian food and, you know, some European food and most home cooked food is so hard to count. You know that. But if you go on MyFitnessPal, someone's already done it. Users have submitted their versions, and it's so great to see. And you can generally get a good baseline and a good ballpark idea of, you know, how much this whatever is supposed to be, right? Based on what other people have submitted. So I started off using MyFitnessPal to track. I would weigh the food. I put it on a scale, I weigh it, and I put it on my plate. But guess what? I go an extra mile. Because we're not looking to do this forever. We're looking to learn. You catch the person how to fish rather than give them the fish. I do this with all my clients, so this is how I do it. I tell them, put it on a plate. So what you guys are gonna do is put it on a plate right now. Good? Done. Next, take a picture of it. Done. And I know you guys are used to taking pictures of your food. That's what Instagram and all of life's about, isn't it now? I do too, don't worry. So, you're gonna take a picture of your food. Boom, done. Next, you're gonna look at it hard, long and hard. Guess what that's gonna do? That is gonna build up muscle memory in your mind. Anytime you look at a plate with this much chicken, this much rice, this much good fat, this much veggies, whatever it is, your eyes are gonna make that correlation. It's not rocket science for you to look at something over and over again and be like, oh, this is good for me. And after 1 week of clean eating, you notice that your body feels better. You notice you look better, and you're like, oh, wow, that food, the way it looks on this plate, is how much I need to eat to get to my goals. So I'm gonna keep putting food on my plate in that way. Now you might ask, okay, Sushil, what if happens if I use another plate? Use all the plates in the house that you can. Use all the bowls in the house that you can, and get your eyes used to it. There's a word, it's called visual correlation. Your eyes will make that correlation. Just like when you see someone fall off a bike, you're like, ouch. When you see a guy go to dunk a basketball, you're like, oh wow, amazing. Or the opposite, when you see someone fail a squat, you're like, oh no. But when you see someone pull off a deadlift, you're like, oh yes. Same thing. When you see your body changing and the food on your plate, your brain's gonna make that positive neural pathway in your brain, science. It's gonna make that link, like a road map or train tracks. It's gonna light it up. And then, if it, let's say, makes you gain weight or makes you feel like shit, it's gonna make a negative pathway. And you're going to find a negative correlation and a negative neural correlation. That's actually a lot of how PTSD and trauma is formed, but that's another story for another topic. We're talking strictly about fitness here. So, not only are you gonna take a picture of that, your eyes are gonna get used to it, and guess what? After a week, you won't have to track, I guarantee it. Now, what happens is your body goes through changes. Maybe the first month, a certain amount of food you eat works, and then it doesn't work the next month. Constantly, your body has to change and adapt itself. We call it the General Adaptation Principle, GAP. The body responds to stimulus. changes in the environment and changes inside. But what happens is oftentimes when we're just doing the same thing over and over again, the body gets used to it and then it just doesn't change. So which is why we use the general adaptation principle, and we try to add in stimulus and factors that make it change. Which is why we don't start at 7 days a week working out. We don't start at 7 days cardio. We don't start at 100% of a clean diet. We start at 3 to 4 days lifting, 2 to 3 days cardio, 80% of a clean diet, and we taper up each time. And that's generally the way to go, because if you start high, how else are you gonna, you work out 7 days a week, what are you gonna go 8? Make it 8th day? Who's gonna make day 8? I'm just gonna get my own calendar right now. So anyways, that's how we do it. Fitness goes in phases, and so when you see something not working, sometimes stay consistent, because a lot of times if it's not broken, don't fix it. But a lot of times I see people, they try a program for a week, 2 weeks, even a month, and they give up. But don't give up. A lot of times our bodies are changing on the inside before it changes on the outside, and you don't even know it yet. Sometimes it can take up to 3 weeks for there to be a difference on your body. And so you don't know that, and stick with it, continue with it, never give up. Next thing is, obviously, since, you know, as you get closer to the end of a weight loss, you may have to eat less calories. You may have to start tracking again. So there's nothing big with pulling out your scale and MyFitnessPal again and doing it one more time, right? So that's how I did it. I didn't track forever. Eventually I just did portion sizes. I ate well, a good amount of cardio. You know, I still enjoyed life. I went out, this and that. And there's nothing more to it. It's not rocket science. It's not complete deprivation of life. It's not complete addiction to the gym. It's focusing on health and priority. And that's all it is. I hope you guys got a lot out of this video. If you have any questions, drop them below. If you have anything you want me to talk about in the next one, happy chatting, and I'll talk to you later.